All right, you gotta see this. This is the new ARRMA Granite Voltage, and it's a ready-to-run monster truck for only $140. What's pretty cool is it goes 25 miles an hour and can run up to 9 minutes on these two Li-ion batteries. How's it going, everybody? It's Greg with RC Driver, and it is a very exciting day here in the workshop. I've got the new ARRMA Granite Voltage, and this is a very exciting truck for anyone that's looking to get into RC on a budget. So let's start off with this unboxing. I'm going to talk about some features as well, but let's go over the box first. All right, right off the bat, we've got the simple ARRMA styling. Definitely a cool look to it, modern look to it. But what really caught my eye was this thing goes 25 miles an hour. That's pretty cool for an entry-level truck. All right, let's move on to some of these other panels down here. All right, so this gives us a look at the new vehicle itself. This is a new design for ARRMA, and it is a pretty interesting looking design. The thing that really caught my eye was it comes with full ball bearings stock from the factory, and then over here the internal gears of the differential are metal, so that is nice to see in a kit at this price point. All right, spin it around. Over here we've got some callouts of the super wide gears that are inside the transmission. It talks about the 3-in-1 electronics. We'll talk about that some more. Now, the reason why I'm going over the box is because some of these smaller side panels have some great information on them. And over here is the electronics that are included with the kit. So it comes with a new ATX 101. This is a 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. Then it's got that 3-in-1 unit I had mentioned. The speed controller is integrated with the receiver, and then it integrates with the servo as well through a 5-wire harness. And then the batteries, which we're going to talk about in a second. And it comes with an included charger. The only thing you're going to need with this kit is you're going to need to pick up 4 AA batteries for the radio. Now let's get to the important side of the box. This is some really important information over here, and it's why they named this truck Voltage. All right, so it comes with 2 lithium-ion batteries. Now, these kind of look like AA's probably from where you're sitting, but they're not AA's. They're actually a larger AA looking battery. It's called an 18650 cell, and each of these cells are 1500 milliamps. So when you run 2 of them in series, it gives you that 7.4 volt battery, which is great, and it's a small cell. So what ARRMA gives you, they give you this cradle right here, and you slip your 2 batteries in, and that powers your truck. And what ARRMA says over here is it could run for 5 to 9 minutes on those 2 cells, which is pretty neat with the included batteries. So down here they say if you add 2 more of the cells, if you purchase them aftermarket or optional, it'll run 10 to 18 minutes. And then if you buy 4 of them in total, you could bump your run times up to between 15 and 27 minutes, which is pretty cool. So you could go and upgrade it so you get more runtime as you go. But it's pretty respectable starting off with a 5 to 9 minute runtime. But what's also cool about this truck is you could go and you could use other standard batteries that we use in the hobby market. You could also use a 7.2 volt nickel metal hydride battery, or you could use a 7.4 volt lithium polymer battery, a 2S battery. And as long as they have the T-Power connector on there, you're good to go. But it's nice that you have all these options with this vehicle. All right, it's time to get in the box. All right, so right off the bat, we've got more cardboard. All right, now we're starting to see some of the truck here. And as you can see, this truck takes up most of the box. There's no extra packaging in there. It doesn't need it. This truck's going to take more abuse out on the ground than it is going to go through during shipping. Let me pull these boxes out here. I'll get the truck out. And then down in the bottom here, we've got some more stuff. All right, so obviously, this is the instruction manual here. You're going to want to read that. Over here looks like we got a little bag of tools or something. Yeah, that looks like a shock and maybe a wheel nut tool. And then we got preload clips, and it looks like it's got some inserts if you want to use different servos. It's got different spline inserts there. So that's nice that they give those to you. Let's check out what's in these boxes over here next. I'm guessing this is the charger. Yep, it is the charger. All right, so here's the charger. For those Li-ion batteries, it is a unique charger. So obviously you just load your batteries into there. It looks like it's got a couple of LED lights on there. Probably let you know when it's done. It's got a USB plug, so you can probably plug it into a USB power source that you already have, or they give you a wall adapter to do that. And now over to the radio system. Comes all bagged and boxed up. So this is the ATX 101. It is a funky looking transmitter, new design for ARRMA. But what I like right off the bat that I can see is it does have a foam steering wheel. Thank you, ARRMA. I do appreciate that. Up top here, we have a bunch of different trims. We've got the servo reversing switches. We've got some EPA dials. We've got the trims, of course, on-off switch. It's got a pretty good feel to it. Batteries load from the bottom, and looks like you could store it in a couple different ways. Maybe not that way. Now let's look at the truck itself. This is a good looking truck. I'm really liking ARRMA's new graphics on this. It's got this kind of dappled effect here in the red, and it's got this kind of spray through corrugated type of look here. Just really nice looking paint scheme. I'm really into it. And then the graphics look pretty cool as well. I'm also noticing it's got these extra holes on here. I'm guessing that's for ARRMA's little rubber tethers that hold their body clips. Might be a neat upgrade to get later on down the road. But let's pop this body off and see what's under the hood. All right, and there it is, that new chassis. I'm really liking the look of this new chassis, the simplicity of it, and it's really well laid out. Let's take a look at this battery tray first, because this is what I'm really interested in. And it's got these two little push tabs. You push it down, and obviously that door pops open, and then it looks like the batteries are already in here. And here are those batteries. Let's just move over to these batteries really quick, talk about that. Here's the 18650 batteries, 1500 milliamps. And as you can see, again, it is basically a large looking AA type of battery right there. But it does have the power needed to give this thing a lot of runtime and give it some pretty good speed as well. But what's pretty cool is, so here's that tray where you could slide the additional batteries into. They give you the polarities down here. There's a nice little sticker just to help you insert the batteries properly. And then this cradle actually comes out. And what you could do is you could take your nickel metal battery. If you have a nickel metal battery, you could slide it right in there, and it houses that. And then you could also fit your lithium polymer batteries in there. And I actually got some extra lithium ion batteries because I'm going to test out those run times that they talked about on the box. I'm going to test out all these different batteries once we get to the testing portion of this. But this is a pretty neat setup. I like the versatility that ARRMA offers here. All right, so let's check out some more of the electronics. So here's that 3-in-1 unit I was telling you about. They're considering the speaking controller, the receiver, and the servo as the 3-in-1 there. It's got that 5-wire harness on there. We kind of see those in some toy grade vehicles, and you know, it looks like a really nice system actually. But what I did notice, it does have a little extra port here that you could pop the rubber cap off, and you could use a 3-wire harness servo. That we use in standard hobby grade type of stuff. So if you upgrade the servo later on down the road, you can go and plug that right into this receiver ESC unit, which is really nice. Over here, we've got the high power T-plug, and that plugs right into this receptacle over here. And we have a 20-turn motor tucked away back here in a mid-motor position. It helps with the balance of the vehicle, and it also protects it from any debris and stuff like that. We used to see all the two-wheel drive cars with the motor hanging out the back, and people would land and it would move the motor. So it's kind of neat to see they moved it over here into this position. On the other side, it's got an access cover for the pinion and spur gear. But the chassis looks nice overall. It's really, really rigid. What else is pretty rigid is the front suspension. The front suspension arms are rigid as well, which is pretty interesting to see. Usually they're super flexible, but these seem to be pretty strong. And what else I'm also noticing, these arms, they seem to be the same front and rear. They are kind of look like they're directional. Looks like they got some arrows on there, but they are universal front to rear. So that should make stocking parts, you know, having spare parts on hand a little bit easier in case something does happen. Does look like the pivot blocks can be purchased and installed separately just in case something happens there. But the shock towers, they're integrated into the chassis. The drivetrain is integrated into the chassis. Those wide gears that they talked about, the composite gears, they're in there, and it's got that gear differential. Ooh, that feels nice and smooth. So nice job there. Let me check out the shocks. The shocks feel really good too. Nice plush oil-filled shocks. The spring actually loads from the top side of the shock instead of from the bottom side, like on so many other shocks. They give you some little preload clips to adjust the ride height. As you can see, the links here, these are fixed links for the steering, fixed links for the rear suspension. And then out back here, they do have some steel drive shafts, and they do sit in some plastic drive yokes, but they look very rigid, so that should hold up well. Adjustable body mounts, And overall, the truck just has a really neat look to it. Nice and simple. And at $140, I think this truck is on point. I think this is going to get a lot of people into the hobby, or I should say it should hopefully get a lot of people into the hobby. I would be enthusiastic if I saw this truck at that price. And I have to imagine it's just going to be so much fun out on the dirt, in the grass, general backyard use. Really nice ARRMA. I'm really excited to go drive it. I know my kids have been bugging me about it since they saw it a few days ago arrive here at the workshop. Dad, when are we going to go drive that truck? So I better get this thing ready because I know they're going to ask again anytime soon. All right, guys, if you haven't done so yet, please click that subscribe button. I really hope you enjoyed this unboxing and overview video. Please throw it a like. If you have a comment or question, throw it in the section below. And when you have a moment, head over to rcdriver.com for some more RC information and some additional photos on this vehicle.